Andrew Jackson, the seventh President of the United States. More than any of his predecessors, Andrew Jackson was chosen by the people, and in his capacity as president, he aimed to serve as the voice of the ordinary man. In 1767, he was born in a rural community in the Carolinas, and his education was patchy. However, he spent around 2 years studying law in his late teens and went on to become a top-notch young attorney in Tennessee. Due to his intense jealousy of his honor, he got into fights and murdered a guy who called his wife Rachel a derogatory name in a duel. Jackson's wealth allowed him to purchase slaves and construct the Hermitage, a palace close to Nashville. He served briefly in the Senate and was the first man from Tennessee to be elected to the House of Representatives. Jackson, a key commander in the War of 1812, won widespread admiration for his victory over the British at New Orleans. Jackson received support from various state political factions in 1824. By 1828, enough had sided with Old Hickory to win a number of elections in different states and take over the federal government in Washington. The Electoral College should be abolished, Jackson said in his first annual message to Congress. He also aimed to make holding federal office more democratic. State apparatuses based on patronage were already being constructed, and a New York senator boldly said, that to the winner belongs the spoils. Jackson was more conciliatory. He decried officeholders who appeared to enjoy lifetime appointments and thought that government work might be so clear and easy that positions should be rotated among qualified candidates. Two parties emerged from the old Republican Party when national politics became divided between Jackson and his opponents, the Democratic Republicans, or Democrats, who supported Jackson, and the National Republicans, or Whigs, who opposed him. In response to Jackson's invasion of power, Henry Clay, Daniel Webster, and other Whig leaders proclaimed themselves to be protectors of popular liberty. He was represented as King Andrew I by adversarial cartoonists. Their claims were based on the fact that Jackson, unlike past presidents, did not defer to Congress in formulating policy but instead took control by using his veto authority and his party leadership. The Second Bank of the United States, a private company but really a government-sponsored monopoly, served as the focal point of the biggest party conflict. The bank used its influence against Jackson when he looked to be antagonistic toward it. The battle for the bank's recharter in Congress was driven by Clay and Webster, who had served as the bank's attorneys. Martin Van Buren was informed by Jackson that the bank is attempting to murder me, but I will kill it. Jackson accused the bank of having an inflated economic privilege when he vetoed the recharter measure. The American electorate endorsed his beliefs. In the election of 1832, he received more than 56% of the popular vote and nearly 5 times Clay's number of electoral votes. Jackson took John C. Calhoun's challenge to defeat the forces attempting to get rid of a high protective tariff head-on. Jackson sent military men to Charleston and threatened to hang Calhoun when South Carolina decided to void the tax. Until Clay brokered a settlement in which tariffs were reduced and South Carolina abandoned nullification, violence appeared inevitable. The Senate had refused to confirm Martin Van Buren as minister to England, someone whispered to the president in January 1832 while he was having dinner with guests at the White House. Jackson sprang to his feet and cried out, "By the eternal, I'll smash them." When Old Hickory withdrew to the Hermitage, where he passed away in June 1845, his favorite, Van Buren, was elected vice president and took over as president.